Hi friends, welcome to Knowledge Prize YouTube channel. This is the third episode in English language. I am talking about in this lesson simple present tense subjunctive mood. If you want to develop English knowledge, please subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon, leave a comment in the comment section. Let's move on to our lesson. Simple present tense subjunctive mood. The subjunctive mode is a grammatical mode that expresses desire, suggestion, doubt, or hypothetical situation. By using the subjunctive mode, the speaker can convey a sense of uncertainty or possibility and express ideas that are not necessarily rooted in fact. Now see the example active voice. You have to use if, subject, verb, object. Now see the example. If we generally sing songs all together. Now see the passive voice. If subject is a past participle by. Example, if songs are sung all together by us. Now see the all example below. Active voice. If the cat chases the mouse. Passive voice. If the mouse is chased by the cat. Next example, active voice. If they build a sand castle. Now see the passive voice. If a sand castle is built by them. Next example. If the composer quotes the theme. Passive voice. If the theme is quoted by the composer. Next one, active voice. If I eat an apple. Passive voice. If an apple is eaten by me. Next one. If he plays the guitar. Now I am going to turn into passive voice this sentence. If the guitar is played by him. Next example, active voice. If the druggist closes the lid. Passive voice. If the lid is closed by the druggist. Next example, active voice. If she paints a beautiful landscape. Passive voice. If a beautiful landscape is painted by her. Next example, active voice. If they solve the puzzle. Passive voice. If the puzzle is solved by them. Now see the next example. Active voice. If I write a letter. Passive voice. If a letter is written by me. Next one, active voice. If the bird sings sweet melodies. Passive voice. If sweet melodies are sung by the birds. Next example, active voice. If the diver buys the brush. Now I am going to turn into passive voice this sentence. If the brush is brought by the river. Now see the next example, active voice. If the chef cooks a delicious meal. Passive voice. If a delicious meal is cooked by the chef. Now see next example, active voice. If he fixes the broken chair. Passive voice, if the broken chair is fixed by him. Active voice, if the emancipator cuts the guava. Passive voice, if the guava is cut by the emancipator. Next example, active voice, if she waters the plants. Passive voice, if the plants are watered by her. Active voice, if they complete the assignment. Passive voice, if the assignment is completed by them. Next example, active voice, if the teacher explained the lesson. Passive voice, if the lesson is explained by the teacher. Active voice, if I buy a new car. Passive voice, if a new car is bought by me. If we ascertain the truth. Passive voice, if the truth is assigned by us. Now I am going to discuss next example, active voice, if he invents a new gadget. Passive voice, if a new gadget is invented by him. Next example, if I clean the kitchen. Passive voice, if the kitchen is cleaned by me. Now see the next example, active voice, if she captures stunning photographs. If stunning photographs are captured by her. Now see the next example, if we celebrate the festival. Passive voice, if the festival is celebrated by us. Next example, active voice, if the student answers the questions. Passive voice, if the questions are answered by the student. Next example, if he designs a modern building. Passive voice, if a modern building is designed by him. Active voice, if she opens the door. Passive voice, if the door is opened by her. Now see the active voice, if they perform a dance routine. Passive voice, if a dance routine is performed by them. Active voice, if the scientist conducts an experiment. Passive voice, if an experiment is conducted by the scientist. Now see the active voice, if the mechanic fixes the car. Passive voice, if the car is fixed by the mechanic. Now I am going to discuss active voice, if she composes a beautiful song. Passive voice, if a beautiful song is composed by her. Active voice, if I plant flowers in a garden. Passive voice, if flowers are planted in the garden by me. Now see the active voice here, if they organize a charity event. Passive voice, if a charity event is organized by them. Active voice, if he repairs the bicycle. Passive voice, if the bicycle is repaired by him. Active voice, if she sings a lullaby. Passive voice, if a lullaby is sung by her. Active voice, if she writes an email to her best friend. If an email is written by her to her best friend. In next video, I'll bring you many more lessons. See you in the future video.